I'm Bhavna Sirohi. I'm the lead medical oncologist at the Apollo Proton Cancer Center in Chennai. I think the latest advances in both, I would say, GI and breast cancer has been that over the last 5 years, I would say that the overall outcome has improved significantly. And that is related to quite a few things. It is related to escalating care in some patients and de-escalating care in some patients. By de-escalating, I mean that we now are able to look at the cancer deeply at a gene level and see that which patients need more treatment and which patients need less treatment. So I think that is better for quality of life as well, and also for cancer survivorship for our patients. The patient-reported outcome measures, I think, are a huge breakthrough. They don't cost much. Drug may lead to a survival benefit, but a patient-reported outcome measure also leads to a survival benefit. So I think that is something which has been incorporated in clinical practice globally, and we know that it improves patients' experience and also patients' quality of life. The other thing which has been a major breakthrough has been number of new drugs that have come about, both for GI and breast cancer. The challenge that we have in India is that most of these drugs are either not accessible or too expensive. So I think we need to do something to try and bring the costs of these drugs down. Also, I think as a medical community, we have to make sure that we get the drugs approved which actually make a difference to the patient. And only two things make a difference to the patient: better quality of life and living longer. So if the drugs do not do that, I don't think they should be approved. So we need to set the bar high for approval of drugs. The other thing that has improved care both in GI and breast cancer is the molecular oncology, again looking deeper into the DNA of the tumor, which drives the treatment in these patients. We are also looking separately at two groups of patients: young women or men with GI cancers or breast cancers who are less than 40 years of age, and looking at options like fertility preservation. So, it's to cure a patient, but then, for them to realize that they will not be able to have children. So we are doing a lot of things, a lot of research to see that, they are able to lead a normal quality of life after being cured as well. And also we are looking separately at patients who are above 65 years of age, called geriatric oncology. So I think these two extremes of age are coming up, which help us deliver better care to the patients. So having spent 2 decades in UK and also been associated with some major cancer centers in the country, having worked in both the private and the public sector, I feel that the care is delivered at an exemplary level, both in UK and in India. What in India we lack is peer review and constant delivery of care for every patient at every level, because we do not have universal health coverage. UK as a country has universal health coverage, so every patient gets the best treatment. What attracted me to UK was the transparency and the accountability within the system, and adherence to guidelines for each and every patient, the site-specific oncology. So the Royal College of Physicians doesn't allow you to treat more than 2 to 3 types of cancer. So automatically you become a world expert or authority on that. So there are challenges in the West as well in delivery of care. But overall, I feel that in India we can learn a lot by trying to bring some of these qualities that are present in the National Health Service. The main thing would be a universal health coverage and transparency and accountability in our system. If we do not know what our benchmark is, how are we going to improve upon it? So we have a national cancer registry. It covers only 10% of the population. But in UK, we know what the outcomes are. I know what the 5-year survival of breast cancer is in UK. It's about 85 to 90%. In India, based on silos of reports that we've had, The 5-year survival in Northeast is about 25% versus 60% in the rest of the country. Huge disparities in delivery of care within the country. And also within the country, there will be a huge disparity between, let's say, a center of excellence versus a center which is in a tier 2 city. So I think we need to be learning from every patient that we treat. So each cancer center has to have a mandate to deliver certain key deliverables and matrix to be called a cancer center. The funding structure in UK is fantastic because the National Health Service is funded by the government. The research is funded by the government, research cures cancer. We have to in India do research which is specific for our patients to be able to learn and improve our cancer outcomes. The funding has to increase for healthcare within the country. The amount of GDP that we spend on healthcare is minuscule compared to what other countries spend. And I realize that the Human Development Index of countries like Bangladesh and Sri Lanka are better than ours. So, which is very sad. I mean, we really need to do something to increase funding, not just for service, but we have to do it for service, education, and research, because all three have to go hand in hand and in parallel. I strongly feel that we need a national cancer director who will drive all of this across the board. So I think since 2009, I have been going to the villages because I feel 70% of our countrymen live in the villages. And we have to try and shift the needle to early diagnosis. We have to diagnose cancers early. And we can only do that if we are doing some sort of screening, like clinical screening in the villages. The government has actually started an initiative where, they do clinical screening for breast, cervix and head and neck cancers for anybody who's above 30 years of age. So I think this needs to be filtered down at a PHC level, at a community health center level. And the people who can do it is ASHA and Anganwadi workers. And I have worked very closely with them. We trained them actually through my charity Nikki, where we would give them a questionnaire because they go to everybody's house. We did a CAP study, knowledge, attitude and practices study, to find out actually what the people are eating, what their habits are. So tobacco, zarda, kheni, all these are major issues in the 47 villages in UP that we had adopted. So we learned that from ASHA and Anganwadi workers, and I feel that to move forward, we have an amazing system that is in place with the panchayats, with the Gram Pradhan and the ASHA and the PHCs. We can utilize the system we already have. I know they are overburdened with the immunization schedule, but by giving them a small incentive, which I was able to do, with once a month training sessions, one can actually work with them to diagnose cancers early. By training them into a clinical examination, by talking to them about early signs of cancer, because that would actually increase the awareness amongst the people in the villages as well, and we can diagnose cancers early. So diagnosing cancers early is one issue which we can work with the system we already have, but then we have to have a system in place that if you do diagnose early, what will you do about it? That we should have a system in place that the patient is treated promptly and urgently in centers which are close by. The government centers, I realized when I was doing this, like AIIMS, were inundated, huge waiting lists. So one has to have a parallel system in place already for all the patients who are diagnosed early.